Okay, so just the other day, the second coronavirus relief package was announced for its newest proposal. Now, if you're like me, as soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, great. Just go ahead and add it to the list of all the other proposals that have been, pushed but never got passed. However, this one actually has a really high likelihood of getting passed. I'm going to explain here in just a minute. So that's what we're talking about today is the second coronavirus relief package. I'm going to be talking about what all it entails, how big it is. We're going to talk stimulus checks. We're going to talk student loan relief. We're going to talk about PPP program and really kind of how all this might roll out and why this one might actually be the one to actually get passed. So make sure you smash that like button so we can spread the knowledge, spread the love. Hit the subscribe button if you can, and let's dive into this. Okay, so like I said, when I first heard about this, I was really hesitant because I'm like, look, if you've been watching my channel or watching others' channels or the news, you know there's been plenty of proposals being pushed already. We had the HEROES Act, that was this whole, massive overhaul that did not get passed. There's been all kinds of student loan relief things being pushed, nothing getting passed. We've just been at a stalemate. As of November 30th, lawmakers officially came back from vacation. Welcome back. And it's at a very important time because people who are receiving unemployment benefits, millions of Americans may be having those benefits expired by the end of this year. So this is a really important time. And if lawmakers do not pass something here pretty soon, we are going to have a very large number of people without money, without assistance. Now, there's a few reasons why I think that this particular bill, or this proposal, I should say, is actually going to get passed. And that the very first reason is because it is a bipartisan proposal. So what that means is that both sides and both parties are actually working together to create this, as opposed to, one side coming up with their own proposal, the other side coming up with a different proposal and trying to convince each other why their proposal is better and not really coming to an agreement. Okay, so let's talk specifics about the proposal. So this proposal is a $908 billion proposal. Well, what does that even mean? Why is that even important? Well, the reason why it's so important is because the size of the proposal, the size of the relief package usually will determine how likely it is to get passed. When we had things in the past that tried to get pushed, like the HEROES Act, which was an amazing overhaul trying to really help create massive relief for so many people in different areas, the problem was that it was so massive that it became very hard to convince the other parties why we needed to spend so much money. So because this is a little bit smaller, it is much more likely to get passed. So like I said, this one's $908 billion compared to the HEROES Act, which is around $2.2 trillion. So as you can see, it's a little bit less than that one, but it's also a little bit of a step up from what we call the skinny proposal that was being pushed not that long ago. So it's a really good middle ground. It's also a bipartisan kind of a come together of creation, which means that it is much more likely to get passed because it's already got both parties who are coming together to work on it. Now, here's what this $908 billion entails. $288 billion going towards small businesses. So for all of you small business owners out there, for those of you who have your own business, this could be really, really important because this is part of that PPP protection program. So if you have a small business, a lot of people are running out of money. Some businesses still never even got any money. This will actually help with that and helping people stay afloat, help pay payroll, rent, expenses, keep themselves afloat during this time. An additional $160 billion will be going to state and local government relief. $180 billion will be going to unemployment extension. So this is really important. So as you know, there's been a lot of push back and forth about getting unemployment extension, how much we should be getting. In the past, if you've been watching my videos, there's been pushes up to $600 a week from the Democratic side, with the Republican side saying no, maybe only a couple $100. Well, in this proposal, they are pushing for a $300 a week until March. So this is really important. So this would be until March, which should, at that point, we should be seeing vaccines coming in, economy opening back up, and getting closer to normal levels. Now, the one thing we do not know about the unemployment extension yet is whether or not it's going to be retroactive. So for those people whose unemployment expires before this were to get passed, because let's face it, even if this gets passed today, it's still going to be a few weeks probably before even all this stuff comes into play. So we do not know yet whether or not this will be retroactive or not. My guess is, though, based on all the previous unemployment extensions that have happened, the way it's rolled out before, My guess is that it's going to be retroactive. However, it's not been fully confirmed. $16 billion will be going to vaccine distribution testing. An additional $82 billion will be going to education. So for all of you teachers out there and people in the education, this will be money going towards you guys to help things in the school systems out. $45 billion will be going to transportation. An additional $35 billion will be going to healthcare. $4 billion will be going to student loans. Now, this is also going to be important for most people. Now, if you've been watching some of my videos, I've been talking a lot about the student loan forgiveness packages and plans that have been being pushed. If you have not watched those, I have some links in the description box below. But really quickly, I talked about the $10,000 student loan forgiveness plan. I've also talked about the $50,000 student loan forgiveness plan. Now, these are two different things that are in the air right now trying to get pushed. But there are some likelihood that we actually are going to get some student loan relief. With Biden going into office and just looking at a lot of his talking points in his campaign, he has always been an advocate of student loan relief and it being such a major issue and a dampering to people's ability to build wealth and get ahead. So if you want more information on those, make sure you check out some of my videos. But there is going to be that additional $4 billion being pushed towards student loan relief. So that's a really good sign. An additional $25 billion will go to housing assistance. $10 billion will be going to postal services. And then the rest will be going to, various programs. Now, the big question becomes, what about the stimulus check? Because as you know, there's been a lot of talk over the past about getting a second round stimulus check. In the CARES Act, we had a $1,200 stimulus check go to every single person as long as you fit certain criteria. Here's the downside, and here's the sad part about this proposal is that there is no mention of a second stimulus check. So if you do not fall in the category of owning your own business, or you don't, are receiving unemployment benefits and things like that, there may not be much extra relief in your favor. It does not mean that it might not change, because remember, this has not been fully passed yet. So that about sums it up for the second round stimulus package. I want to hear your thoughts and comments. Do you actually think that with it being a bipartisan thing that it actually will get passed? What do you feel about not getting the second round stimulus check? What do you think about the unemployment? Leave your comments below. I want to hear from you. If you guys have questions, leave comments below as well. And like I said, if you have not done so already, be sure to check out some of my other videos I posted recently on student loan forgiveness, how to quickly pay off your student loan debts. Make sure you like this video, hit the subscribe button if you can. It would mean the world to me. And let's see what happens.